Nothing like freshly baked bread. Whether you are a first-time baker or looking to refine your skills, I'm going to show you a step-by-step how to achieve delicious sourdough bread. So stick with me. The first step and most important is to always start with an active starter. We add the starter to our water and we whisk it together to blend it. And then we start adding and mixing in the flour. I like to use a combination of whole wheat and all-purpose flour. Then we mix the flour together, and I like to use a whisk to combine everything. Then we are going to add the salt and whisk it in all together until all incorporated and it's well distributed. I like using the whisk to mix it all together, and once it gets too heavy for the whisk to handle, I switch to a paddle, or you can use your hand. And we are going to incorporate the remaining of the flour, and to do this, we are going to use the paddle to fold in the remaining of the flour while rotating the bowl and cleaning the sides of the bowl until all the flour is incorporated. This will take a few minutes, the entire process. Once the flour is all incorporated, the dough should be still soft and sticky. Now we are going to cover our bowl with a plastic wrap and let it rest for 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the warmth of our kitchen. After the time is up, we are going to do our first stretch and fold. And to make things easier, wet your hands first. We are going to stretch one side of the dough and fold it over itself. Then rotate the bowl and repeat for the other side about 4 or 5 times. Then we'll cover the dough again and rest it for 30 to 45 minutes in a warm area. After we finish resting the dough, we'll repeat the stretch and fold process again. This process builds strength and structure by developing the dough's gluten and allowing it to hold air. Remember to also wet your hands so the dough doesn't stick to your hands. Once this is done, we are going to cover our bowl with a plastic wrap again and let it rest for 1 hour. Once the dough has rested, we are going to do a couple of coil folds, and this will be done by, again, using wet hands. Lift up the dough and fold it under. Rotate the bowl and repeat about 4 times. You will notice that the dough has become smooth and elastic, and air bubbles start forming on the surface of the dough. Cover the dough again and let it rest for another hour. Now we are going to perform the second set of coil folds. Repeat the process that you did previously. Lift the dough and fold under. Then turn the bowl around and do it in the other direction. Lift and fold the dough under. The dough is going to be smoother and smoother as we do this process, and less sticky. And you will notice more bubbles forming on the surface of the dough. So we cover the dough again and let it rest for an hour or longer until it becomes 1.5 times in size. Now we are turning the dough onto our working surface and we are going to shape it. First, by dividing the dough into 2. I always make 2 loaves at a time. You can only do 1 loaf if you prefer. This recipe that I'm working with makes 2 loaves of bread. So we are going to shape our loaves by folding in the sides and creating tension on top achieving that great loaf once it's baked. Once the dough is shaped, you can place it on a parchment paper, or you can use a baneton and place it into a baneton upside down, so the bottom will be on top, because we want to reverse it out once it has been sitting in the baneton. So fold the bottom together, pinch the ends together, and you can let it rest on the counter, or if you prefer a more complex flavor, you can refrigerate the dough overnight for a cold ferment. The process of making sourdough bread takes time, and usually it's a 24-hour process, but the end result, it's well worth the time and the effort. Once it's shaped, I place it on a parchment paper, and then I'm going to set it into my baking pan and let it rest there covered with a plastic wrap for about an hour until the dough becomes puffy. Here is the dough in the baneton before resting 1 hour, and here is after 1 hour. It's puffy, it has bubbles on the top, has rested, and now I'm going to invert it onto a floured parchment paper. Then I'm going to place it into my baking pan. Then I'm going to dust it with some flour, and for that, the best to use is rice flour or a mixture of all-purpose and rice. Next, I'm going to do a score into the surface of the bread using a sharp blade, or you can use a sharp knife. This will help the bread to rise nicely while baked. I hope you are enjoying this video, and if you do, help me by hitting the thumbs up button. And feel free to leave me a comment or a question if you have, and I will answer the best I can. Another thing I like to do is stenciling. You can add a message or create a beautiful design on your loaf of bread. Especially I like to do this when I make the loaf of bread as a gift. Once it's finished, I'm also going to score the dough in a couple of places. This will create a rise and a beautiful design on the crust. To bake the loaves, I am going to preheat the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, bake them covered for 25 minutes, then uncovered for another 25 minutes. Remove loaves from the pan to a cooling rack and let them cool before cutting. This will allow the crumb to set fully. Cutting too soon will create a gummy texture, so be patient. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.